Big week for Bitcoin as the Fed has their FOMC meeting on Wednesday. Although the CME says we're not going to get anything, investors are starting to front run the potential move. Are we going to get a 25 basis point rate cut on Wednesday? And what would that mean for the markets? As global tensions seem like they're starting to fizzle out, but we'll see. Bitcoin is currently over 108. Oh, it went down. $107.8 thousand for one Bitcoin. But today we're going to focus a little more on alts. Two specifically. We're going to dive deep into the Virtuals protocol ecosystem and one project that had a massive run that over the last 90 days is one of the worst performers. And is it about that time for this project to get going again? What project is it? Well, you're going to have to wait and see. Also, we're going to look at Ethereum. We're going to look at inflows. We're going to take a look at some charts as well. We have that and much, much more on today's episode of Sin City Crypto. Let's go.
Hola! It's your boy, Big Rob, back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto, home of the entertainment-focused cryptocurrency content where we take old, boring, stale information, repackage all up in a fun, sexy way. And you know what? Bitcoin's back, man. 108,000. What's your feeling on Bitcoin right now, dude?
Real good, man.
Thinking about the markets.
Amazing feeling.
Amazing?
I feel good, man.
Feel good?
Yeah.
I feel equally just as good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Put in a trade this morning.
We up?
Yep. $28. But Patreon or not
Does that
Patreon.
mean we can order Starbucks? I think $28 to get the whole crew Starbucks.
Nah.
Guys down for some Starbucks over there?
Nah, Gina.
Yeah, I got thumbs up across the board. Close the trade and let's order Starbucks. Let's go.
Gina likes the expensive coffee. We can't afford it yet. So hear me out here, okay? I put it in our Discord. I said, look, opening up a Bitcoin short. Also, I did lose some money over the weekend. I was trying to front run some of the narrative stuff, which I normally don't do, but I decided to do, and well, it went against me. But I had a tight stop loss. We took an L on that, but we're trying to make some money back here.
If you're trying to front run narratives, what you should do is pick up the phone and say, hey, Big Rob, I got this narrative going on, and then I'll give you the correct
absolutely. Yeah.
of your front running. I'll
Yes.
say, look here,
Yeah.
you know what? Get yourself together. That's a dumb idea.
Totally my bad. Totally my bad. Yeah.
The guru has spoken.
That's definitely not going to happen.
All right.
So I do want to go over this. Flows by assets from CoinShares. Last week, Bitcoin saw $1.325 billion of inflows from institutions. Ethereum saw $583 million. Solana, 1.26. And the next highest altcoin.
Why is Siri yelling at you, bro?
Why are you yelling at me? Stupid Siri. What the hell? They listen to what we say, don't they? Bum, bum, bum. Anyways.
The only person that listens.
It's not funny. You know, that would have been perfect for the womp, womp, womp. You missed that one. It's okay. We'll get the next one. XRP, 11.81 million, the largest altcoin inflow. And that's pretty much it. But Bitcoin, obviously, is the big number here, 1.35 billion. If you take a peek at the histogram chart, we had a big spike back in. This was 7 weeks ago. Yeah, about 7 weeks ago. So what is that? 7 weeks ago from today was about April. Around April, we had that big spike, and then it was kind of trending down, but we're seeing another big spike as a total of 1.9 billion flowed into all of crypto. And obviously the big ones being Bitcoin and Ethereum. Speaking of big Bitcoin, Metaplanet acquires another 1,112 Bitcoin, bringing their total holdings to that $10,000 Bitcoin number. Metaplanet, if you're not familiar, is the MicroStrategy of Japan.
No.
Konnichiwa.
So
That's all I know.
Metaplanet got to 10,000, and then MicroStrategy bought 10,000. So
Why are you trying to undermine what Metaplanet?
I'm just saying that, like,
You got money to buy 1,000
you
Bitcoin?
should have started with
You got money to buy
you should have
1,000 Bitcoin?
started
I didn't think so.
with a MicroStrategy bought 10,000 Bitcoin today. Are you got that pulled up?
I didn't see it.
You didn't?
No.
Oh. Where's Sailor at?
I did see his infamous, there's not enough orange on this chart. Remember the orange dots?
Here you go.
Oh, how did I miss?
So Michael Saylor says Strategy has acquired 10,100 Bitcoin at $1.05 billion. The man is handing out billion-dollar checks like it's
$1.05 billion. Who says that?
He said it. It literally says $1.05 billion.
Can you use your haptic pad over there? There we go. Make it bigger. Make it bigger. I can't see it, Rob.
Okay.
Sure you hear that?
$1.05 billion.
Okay.
You'd like to DM Sailor and ask him why he used those.
No, it's just the way you said it. I don't like it. But Sailor's cool.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah.
All
How much
right.
they have now? 592,000. Wow.
Yes, they are getting ever closer to that elusive 1 million Bitcoin. You know, we talked about it, and I think when they were around 200 or 300,000 Bitcoin,
You said, are they going to go for 1 million? I said, duh. Remember?
Yeah.
I made fun of you, actually.
I didn't disagree with that idea. I just thought it was going to be a long ass time before they got there. I think maybe if we got back in the time machine, I would say like, hey, 10 years. I don't know.
Listen, man.
Now it's like 10 months, right?
10 months.
3 to 10 months. Yeah. I'm taller than you today.
Don't get used to it because, well.
Like my flannel today?
No.
I'm going back to Virginia on Wednesday.
Wow.
I need to work on my fashion, you know. I can't go out there.
Wow, yeah.
Can't go out there with
Virginia's definitely known for fashion. When
That's
I
what
think
I'm
of
saying.
the fashion icon state of the United States, Virginia immediately.
That's my whole point exactly.
Yeah.
Is if I bring my fly ass Vegas clothing out there, I'm gonna get made fun of or robbed, one of the two.
So
or
now you're
attacked
making
by
fun
a
of your
bear
hometown.
because bears like to attack shiny things, and I got a lot of those shiny shirts. So I got to go all flannel, man.
Do you still have your peacock shirt? Remember the one you wore in Miami?
I gifted it to Goodwill, so somebody's looking fly as hell for $1.99.
Yeah, somebody's getting made fun of for $1.99. That's what they're doing. God. Okay. FOM or any thoughts on all this Bitcoin buying? I mean, at some point, maybe we're already there. It just becomes, when Luna was acquiring all that Bitcoin and their market cap size of their UST was growing massively, and then it all crumbled and destroyed the crypto ecosystem. It was the start of the bear market. MicroStrategy has 600,000 Bitcoin. God forbid something happens.
They're 7,000 short, but yes, they're almost there. But
Sailor retires. Sailor dies. They decide to go in a different direction. I don't know. They lose the keys. I don't know. That's just my idea I'm throwing out there, but feel free to have any commentary you'd like on the situation of all this Bitcoin buying. It's good. Wow.
I know. I mean, if I had a take for every time they bought Bitcoin,
You'd have a lot of takes.
Yeah, I'm out of takes now. So
wow, good take.
I mean, he's getting close. It's bad. He's getting closer to $1 million. That's a million Bitcoin, excuse me. And so he's gonna own 1/20th of all the Bitcoin here soon.
Which, for those of you that aren't good with fractional math, it is 5%. You're welcome, guys. I got you. Also, sir, save a lot. Hola to you as well. Hola to you as well. Justin McKenzie said, haha. Okay. By the way, happy belated Father's Day to all the fathers out there. What did you do for Father's Day?
I got my dad Mickey's malt liquor beer, and I went over and had a couple of those.
Mickey's malt liquor.
They're the ones that look like hand grenades.
You're definitely from Virginia for sure.
He, for some reason, likes that beer. I don't know, and it's hard to find. And so in Virginia, that's what he drank every day. And then he moved to Vegas, and he couldn't find it anywhere. So I went all around town to go find this beer because I'm like, you know what? Like, let me get him something nostalgic.
You had to go to the hood, huh?
Hell yeah, bro. I was at some it was like Maria's corner
liquor store.
Yeah, it was bad.
Maria's a good lady. I know her.
Yes, they had not even joking. They had like tostadas on one counter and like tacos, churros. They had agua frescas, and then they had the Mickey's hand grenade.
Had the Jamaica.
You know, it was the cheapest Father's Day gift I've ever bought. It was $17 for 24 of those things. So they're right around like 70 cents a piece.
Dad must be proud of raising such a cheap son. I wish you were that.
Oh no, he was happy as hell.
I wish you were that cheap when it came to buying.
I'll tell you what, man. I bought him like $300 whiskey before. I've got him like expensive electronics.
Let me guess. He mixed
Most of the time, what happens is he opens it up. He's like, "Oh, cool, thank you." I walked in with that 24 pack of Mickeys, man. That man lit up, man. He was like, "My boy."
It's the little things, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was like, $17 goes a long way nowadays. You know.
I don't know. We have FOMC on.
How was your Father's Day?
It was cool. Yeah. Being
Did
a
you get
dad.
socks or what happened? Anybody buy you anything?
Yeah,
Nobody ever buys me anything for Father's Day. Not that I want
I
anything.
got a gift card. You know what's funny is the kids Mother's Day, they make their mom this card, homemade card, and all these things. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. And then Father's Day.
You get a high five?
Hey, Dad, can you play a board game with us? It was cool, man. I had a good time. Spent all day with my kids. Did a little bit of work, but
I bought myself a new Nintendo Switch. Which I had. That thing is hard to find, by the way. The Switch 2. I was on a mission trying to pick one up at like Target, and then I said F it. I just went on offer up and overpaid for one.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But I got my Switch. I got that new Mario Kart. Fire.
Wow. Now back to crypto. We have the FOMC on Wednesday, which, by the way, we're either going to not stream or I'm going to stream like I did 2 months ago from my house, where we're just going to throw on Jerome Powell and just watch him talk. And watch him say the same thing that he said 6 months ago and 3 months ago and a year ago. But maybe something changed. Who knows? Global uncertainty maybe move the needle for some FOMC members. CME doesn't buy it. They're still at 99.9% of a nothing. So, with that being said, let's move on. Rob, I really need you to pay attention to this one. This is very important. Tron is going public in the U.S. Reverse merger with SRM. We have... No, where did it go? I had a... Oh, did it get closed? Hold on, let me...
Well,
damn it. Oh, right here. Here it is. Okay, cool. Sorry. I had this take from Easy Eats Bodega. Sadly, I'm starting to think that the whole crypto industry is going to face a really boring future. It costs a calm $25 million to purchase the sitting president's token and basically get whatever the hell you want from it. Justin Sun was literally under investigation, bought $25 million of the Trump coin. Investigations were stomped out. Now he's able to do a reverse merger, get Tron on a publicly traded company, and have the president's son working with him. This is so absurd, man. And this is what he's referring to. Tron to go public, new venture fund to buy and hold Tron, and then Eric Trump is going to work with the Tron Foundation and Justin Sun. Rob, get off your phone. What are your thoughts on this?
it's interesting, dude. You know what? He's not wrong. You can kind of buy your way in anything. But if you're like disgusted that Justin Sun bought his way into the crypto circle here in the US, I mean, that's just how the game works, man. You know, are you upset?
I get this guy's point. Why does Tron need to go public? I don't get it. I don't understand. Outside of just raising money, you know? Like, what's the purpose and benefit of Tron going public?
Let me ask you something. We've talked about it before, the eventuality that Ripple will probably go public. And you've gotten behind that idea. You said you would buy Ripple if it went public.
Ripple,
but I mean, it's blockchain technology. If you're sitting here saying, "Hey, if Ripple goes public, I'm buying Ripple. I'm buying that company. I want a piece of it." We talk about Circle, then I mean, you can't just cherry pick the blockchains you like and then
Ripple is acquiring companies. They have a business model. They got multiple.
They're still a blockchain, man. And
they have their own.
Tron has a lot going on. They are a
stablecoin.
leader. They're the leading layer 1 blockchain in Asia. They are a remittance payment go-to globally. When you go outside of Europe, people use Tron, dude. Middle East people are moving with Tron. Like you go to send somebody money in Asia and Middle East, they're sending it through Tron. And so What do we talk about when it comes to Ripple? We talk about like, hey, remittance payments, banking, bank transfers. You know, you're not gonna need a bank. You know, Ripple this. You know, XRP. You know, XRP Ledger. I hate to say it, but I have personally sent people money through the Tron network more than I have on Ripple. And so, if you're gonna sit here and tell me Ripple is the best for sending money through the traditional channels that would be banking services, but now you're doing it through blockchain, I'd like to argue that Tron probably does that more frequently than Ripple does. Now, maybe Ripple is more geared towards banks, but you know what? You didn't like the Polkadot move. You don't like this one, but yet, if Chainlink and Ripple became publicly traded companies, I'm pretty sure you'd be like, cool. I'm just saying. It sounds. Am I sounding crazy, or do you?
Yeah, you know, you're absolutely insane. I just told you, Ripple is an actual company. They have products. They have other companies.
Too. Justin's son
Tron
has
is a blockchain.
Justin's son.
Tron is not a company. It is a blockchain.
There is a company behind the
Tron
blockchain.
Foundation. What do they do? Right?
Is there? I don't.
What is Tron
They're
Foundation?
not based in the U.S.
Wow,
so.
they buy their own token.
Okay. Ripple is a U.S. based company that is obviously here with us, and so it's a little different because it being at home base, we know a little bit more about it. Because Tron is not home base here, we know less about it. We're not in that ecosystem.
You just said you spend a lot of money with Tron. What's up, man? Tell me about the ecosystem, dog.
I know it's cheap and fast, and that every time I go to send money to anybody,
every
time I go to send money to my family in Israel, every single time, they always say, "Send me Tron, tether through Tron, every time." And then I gotta go and then argue with them, and then I overpay an Ethereum transaction. Because why? Because it's hard as hell to buy Tron here in the U.S. Because, well, it's not very U.S. friendly, which now it's changing, right? That's my whole point. It's not that I chose to use Tron. It's not like I picked up the phone and was like, you know what? Let me just really make this difficult on myself and use Tron. Like, no. But that's what other people are using outside the U.S. Just the reality of it.
Unacceptable. All right, I want to move on. You see the new iPhone?
It's not
I mean,
not a new iPhone.
See the new Trump phone? T1. We ain't talking about T1. Is that testosterone? T1? No, T1 is
T1.
some medical thing, right? Trump organization to launch Trump Mobile, which is going to be U.S. made and well gold. Shocker. Starting at $4.99. Actually, a pretty good price point. Not bad. Announced by Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump. Well, here's what it looks like, my friends. That is not a phone case. That's the phone. So, key features. Gold.
There it is.
Punch hole.
A punch hole?
Yeah, it says 6.8 punch hole AMOLED screen. 120 hertz refresh rate. That's pretty good, right? You're good with refresh rates?
Wow.
50 megapixel main camera. Not bad, not bad. 5,000 mega amps of long life camera. Wow. And fingerprint sensor and AI face unlock. Absolutely insane. Man.
Do you think they do?
This is crazy.
Do you think they do a KYC on that? Like know your residency? Like you got to be a U.S. resident to buy it?
I don't know, but I like the price point, man. Also, you can have a down payment for $100. And you can.
Can we order one as a company phone?
No.
Why not?
So also, good news here, guys. Call unlimited for $47.45 a month. Trump Mobile is here. Don't fear.
How's their coverage? Do they only have signal in like the Republican states?
You're so stupid. Okay, I'm trying to sift through this quickly to see if they say, wait, okay, here. Oh, no, never mind. Oh, everything will happen in the U.S. and nobody will be calling call centers in Bangladesh, said Eric. Yeah, I can't find anything of what towers and network they're using. I'm assuming it's either Verizon or T-Mobile. I would assume. But yeah.
Every American flag will have an antenna on top. That's how we're going to get the most coverage.
So you obviously want to buy one. I'm not buying one. Production team, are you guys interested in buying one?
The only reason I say we should buy one is that
I said production team. If you'd let him answer, thank you very much.
Absolutely not. Hell no.
Hell no? Okay.
No.
I already have this phone.
This phone is the best phone. I don't need
This is
another
the best
phone.
phone. Well, Gina, guess what? For Christmas, you're getting a Trump phone.
Okay,
You
so
too, Antoine. You too.
there was a Solana phone that came out, and foolishly we said we're gonna buy one for the company, and we never did.
True.
And then we ended up looking at the price of the phone skyrocket on eBay, and then
Yeah, after everyone found out how much money and funk is in
and,
there.
and then we look back, we're like, damn it, why the hell didn't we buy a phone? So I say this time we buy the damn phone. We don't open it though. We keep it sealed in the box as a collectible. And yeah, there you go.
Okay. Set said
It'd be worth something later on, don't you think?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
If there's ever a dumb collectible that'd be worth something, it's a gold phone from the Trump team.
Yeah.
If you know he's done shoes, NFTs, he's got the commemorative coin that you can buy
bandana
on like PBS commercials.
Yeah. He's got a Trump bandana.
Does he really have a bandana?
No, but you thought about it for a second. Set said promised Epstein list and got a phone instead. Hey man, sometimes it just is what it is, baby. Rob, you have any new names you want to shout out?
Not really.
I'll take that as a no. Let's listen to Charles Hoskinson. Well, interesting AMA he did yesterday. I don't think this is part of that AMA, but this is part of another video he did. And, well, it sounds all too familiar to what we showed on Friday with another altcoin project.
I do believe that it will not materially impact Cardano by doing a conversion of 5 to 10% of the treasury into stable assets and assets like Bitcoin. And in doing this, we can create a yield, and that yield on an annual basis can be used to purchase ADA and over time replenish the treasury. And if this program is successful, then we can actually continue that strategy on an annualized basis, and over a period of 5 to 10 years, potentially grow to $1 billion plus stablecoin treasury and Bitcoin treasury to augment and enhance the ADA value in the treasury that we have. This sets us up for great returns and for a pretty stable floor for the ecosystem as a whole, like you would want in any good sovereign wealth fund.
First Polkadot, now Cardano. Look at this. So this was posted by Aaron Dishner. Said, let me get this straight. Number 111 market cap coin wants to buy Bitcoin because they recognize that Bitcoin is more valuable in itself. Did I get that right? And then Anatoly Yakovenko, who is the founder of Solana, said, this is so dumb. Project should keep 18 to 36 months of post-kill list runway in short-term T-bills, but that's about it. Why would anyone want a team to buy and hold Bitcoin for them when they can do it themselves? Why pay for all those coconuts? First of all, leave coconuts out of it. They're absolutely delicious, especially when you get them at those Thai restaurants. When you go to the pho.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A great hangover cure, man.
Yeah.
Stick a straw in a coconut. You got a hangover?
I don't drink, so I wouldn't know. Rob.
Yeah. Shots fired, right?
Yeah.
Anatoly.
And I told you. So me and Forrest.
You gave a hard time to Polkadot.
I did
last week.
I did. I'm gonna give a hard time to Cardano. What are you doing?
Okay, see, I thought you were gonna be. I thought you were gonna say like, "Hey, Tron, you're not allowed to be publicly traded. I'll buy Ripple publicly traded. Polkadot, how dare you buy Bitcoin? Cardano, what's up?"
I think. Okay, here's my thoughts. Okay, I think the money should be spent getting dApps and people in the ecosystem. We don't even have a stable coin. We don't have one of the, you need one of the top two, USDC and USDT. Even Ripple, who has their own stable coin, brought in Circle. Even Ripple. So, with that being said, sure, 10 years down the road, yeah, if you're like pristine and you got users and sure. I will say I like the fact that he brought up converting the gains from doing this to buying more ADA. But my
big takeaway, the painfully loud takeaway I heard was the fact that he said basically you're gonna make money by holding Bitcoin, right? Basically, you're selling your Cardano for Bitcoin and you're going to essentially protect your. All I heard this entire thing, the whole thing, all I heard was Bitcoin's gonna outperform ADA.
Let me ask you a question. Yes, let me ask you a question.
From his own mouth.
You and I started this company. We started this podcast. We started SINCITY Studios. We started SINCITY Podcast. There was a point in time where we were starting to bring in a decent amount of money, and we decided, instead of buying Bitcoin, putting money into investments, we decided to invest back into our company to grow our company, correct?
Now we have this beautiful LED
Okay.
ball worth 1.5 Bitcoin.
Can I argue? Can I argue that Cardano should be doing the same? Why worry about, hey, we have this treasury, let's try to build a treasury up, use the treasury you have to update, to bring people into your ecosystem and get that business going.
All roads eventually lead back to Bitcoin. Even in the crypto ecosystem.
Okay, Michael Saylor.
No,
Stick on the point here,
I'm
guy.
not trying to be funny, bro. I'm genuinely, all roads lead back to Bitcoin. Let me ask you something. Yes, we decided to reinvest our money into the studio. However, let's just say we made $150 million this year. We're like at 0.5% of that.
Starbucks for everyone.
Don't you think with that surplus of money that we would put some into Bitcoin?
Dude, okay,
No,
that is
no,
not a
but
fair
no.
comparison.
No, but what I'm saying is that eventually all roads lead back to Bitcoin. Eventually, when you have spare capital.
Yeah, Rob, when we're the #1 podcast studio in the entire country and we're
If we
bringing...
made $150 million this year, then yeah, we're probably a top 3 studio.
Okay, we're not there yet.
Okay.
Yeah, so in the meantime, we're going to reinvest in the business
Is
to bring people through the door.
But hear me out. It's the premise here.
Hear me out. Here we go.
Eventually, if you make enough money or you have enough cash on hand, you go to Bitcoin. Eventually, right? Eventually, Apple, whether it's 5 or 10 or 20 years from now, eventually Apple will have to buy Bitcoin because they're going to have a payments wallet with Bitcoin on it. Eventually, it'll get there. And that's what I'm saying. Eventually, all roads lead to Bitcoin. Let me ask you something. Eventually, every country will have Bitcoin, right?
No.
You don't think so?
I can't see Turks and Caicos having Bitcoin. That's about it.
But eventually, it's going to become the reserve currency. Okay, what country doesn't have exposure to gold?
Good question. I don't know.
It's not much. So basically, all countries have exposure to gold in some way. Now, whether they hold it themselves or they have some kind of third party connection there, all countries have exposure to gold. So I think all countries are eventually going to have Bitcoin, just because it's a digital version of gold, especially if the global monetary system is built off the backbone of a stable currency like Bitcoin, or one that's protected against inflation and government and politics. And so eventually all countries will have it. The same is going to happen for crypto, bro. It's inevitable. That's my whole point. My whole point here is that no matter what you want out of it, it's going to go there anyways. So name me a crypto company you don't want to buy Bitcoin, David. Is there one that you said there's no way they'll ever buy Bitcoin?
A crypto company?
Yeah. You think Chainlink will ever own Bitcoin?
Yeah.
Do you think Ethereum will ever own Bitcoin?
Eventually, you should.
There you go. So then
just
what's
saying.
the problem with Cardano buying it now? Why is it such a
I literally told you. I gave you 2 examples. Do you listen when I talk? The answer is no, you don't. I literally said, when everything's in place and you got, I don't know, 1 million daily active users and you got stable coins and you got a booming ecosystem and your token's $15, $20, sure. But right now, you need to get people in your ecosystem, right? You need to light a fire under the ecosystem. It's very simple. Eventually,
They got
yes.
a lot of cash on hand. Dude literally came out here and said, like, hey, we want to hedge our bet on our own token by holding Bitcoin and stablecoins. Because if the price falls, at least Bitcoin and stablecoins will still be around.
Gives a shit if the price falls. It's going to fall if people aren't using it.
If you got a lot of cash on hand, why not stick it in Bitcoin? Right? MicroStrategy does it, right? What was the premise behind MicroStrategy?
MicroStrategy is not...
They had cash on hand. They had extra cash on hand. So they took their treasury reserve assets and bought Bitcoin.
So does Cardano want to be a Bitcoin treasury company, or they want to be a layer one blockchain?
They have a treasury.
Or do they want to be a layer one blockchain? Which one is it?
Do you think there's any company that has a treasury that shouldn't keep do you think you should have just cash sitting as a company in a treasury reserve, or do you think you should put some of it into Bitcoin as a company? Not I'm talking about blockchain. I'm talking about, let's just say Microsoft. You think Microsoft, they have billions of dollars sitting on cash in hand?
Microsoft is the #1 company in the world.
I understand that. But what I'm saying is that, do you believe Microsoft would be better suited keeping some of that cash on hand in Bitcoin?
No. If they're growing, no.
You're high, bro.
Microsoft is at the pinnacle of their space.
We have a crypto channel, and you're telling me Microsoft shouldn't buy Bitcoin?
Okay, you know what? From now on, 20% of every single dime that comes through this company is going into Bitcoin. I don't give a shit if we need it.
We don't have a treasury reserve. But if we did,
Why don't we have one? Why don't we have one? It was brought up. It was brought up six
money.
It was brought up 6 months ago to put money in Bitcoin. Why did you say no? Because why?
We don't bring in enough money to buy Bitcoin, bro. What are we gonna do?
And if we brought in 100 grand this month, all of that would go into the studio, and you know it.
Yeah,
exactly.
But if we brought in $1 million, then we would buy Bitcoin. We are going to expand this damn place with cash flow. But if we bring in a major surplus and we have a treasury, we're not talking about operating costs. If you have a treasury, now what is the treasury for Cardano? 1.5 billion at one point. I don't know where it is now. A lot of damn money, man.
1.5 billion ADA.
Exactly, dude. It's a lot of money, man. It's a lot of money just sitting there. Why not use it?
Hey guys, we have 1 camera for the studio and we need 3, but instead of spending the money to buy more cameras, we're just going to go ahead and put that money into Bitcoin.
I don't think mom and pop shops, I don't think that companies that don't have a large treasury should be buying Bitcoin. At least grow and scale your company. I don't think if my kid was like, hey, should I go to college or buy Bitcoin? I'd be like, go to college, bro. Get your money up, get your life started, build a foundation. Once you start generating
that's
outcome.
not true. You don't just tell them to go to college. You ask them, well, what are you trying to study? If you're trying to study some dumb stuff,
we are in the
then you
early
tell them to buy
stages.
Bitcoin.
I mean, David, we're in the early stages of our company. Why? It's not the time right now. But Cardano's been around. 2013 or 2014 is when they released the white paper or whatever it was. It launched in 2016. I don't remember. They've been around for a while, man. It's almost 10 years the token's been out. You know what? They got a treasury reserve. Why not, dude? Why not get some?
Yeah, their TVL is $285 million with stablecoin market cap at $31 million. They need to boost their ecosystem, man. Spend that money on your ecosystem. Once you have that, then sure. That's my point. With that being said, Rob, let's take a look at the markets.
All right. So taking a look, you got Bitcoin flirting with that 108 right now. And so you look at where we're at on the 1 week. We went from 108 at the start of last week. We had a little pullback, but here we are again.
108.
108.
Wow.
Also on the 1 month, we're kind of just trading sideways, but you'll see here, looks like we're getting ready for a breakout. I think new all-time highs are around the corner. I know I said that last week, but then we had the Iran-Israel situation, so that kind of sidelined the gains. But I do think all these massive institutions coming in, buying, and then we started the show out talking about MicroStrategy buying, MetaPlanet, and you have Trump. Trump, the Trump Liberty Finance. Who's?
I lost track of all the stuff he's doing. Which one?
They're buying
we're
Bitcoin.
Liberty Fund.
I think they announced that they're going to buy $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Yeah.
So hey, I'm just saying that you're gonna have a lot of buy pressure here. But anyways, let's get into the altcoins. We got Aerodrome up 15%. This thing is absolutely crushing it. I know we talked about this before. I told you this was one of my top stablecoin picks, and I don't remember who kind of signed me up on this one, but you look here, up from 50 cents just a couple weeks ago, and this is something that we saw upwards of that $2 range back in December. So if we get back up there, this is something that is closely tied to stable coins and also part of the base ecosystem. So
Base has been
what do you think about Aerodrome? You think this
It's
is
the
a
number one
short
dex
little
on-
pump?
I mean, it's the number one dex on base.
No. Yeah.
Are you asking me from like a fundamental standpoint or from like a
Just
chart?
kind of what's your thoughts on Aerodrome?
I don't know much about it as far as the mechanics of its token and utility, but it's the number one dex on the hottest chain right now, which is base. I mean, there's a reason why it's up. What is it, 60% over the 90 days?
Yeah, it's
Or 1 month?
it's over 50%.
There's a reason why it's up.
No, that's on the week, bro.
Oh, on the week. Shit. Okay.
Yeah, just on the 7 days, up 60%, up 15% just today alone. Also, Caspa, a little bounce back. We saw Caspa down at 7 cents, flirting with that 6 cents range again. Oh no, it actually did go down to. Oh, it flirted with the 5 cent range.
You did?
Oh no, excuse me, that's the one. That's I was confused. Yeah, I was like, I didn't see it go down to 6
Talking
cents.
about Willis.
So
Good movie, by the way.
thank you. So you got 7 cents on Caspa, up
That's
to
not a
8.
compliment. All right.
Although we have a little bounce back, Caspa it's just not performing well. I mean, this is the 1 year. It just hasn't. I would, until it gets over 10 cents and trades above it. I don't know, man. I have a hard time getting behind Caspa as far as reversing the trend. I think the trend will reverse. I just don't know when. I don't know if it's going to happen in this summer. I thought, we talked about it when Caspa hit 5 cents here earlier this year. We said, hey, you know what? I think this is a pretty damn good time to buy. And it rebounded, but it gave a lot of that back up, right? And so will we go in and put a new low in on the yearly here? Maybe. I felt confident, but once we lost that 10 cent, that 10 cent mark, I don't know, man. I'm waiting for a reversal. It seems like the Caspa community just hasn't been as loud lately either. I don't know if
They have. They're just fighting over other stuff. Yeah, there's some Cardanoism going on.
I think I would say this. I think Caspa is a steal right now, but I think you're going to be able to buy it lower. I think that, like right now, if you were asking me, hey, should I buy Caspa? I mean, I don't think it's a bad time to buy Caspa, but I have a feeling it's going to go down to 6-7 cents again, at least 6 cents. So if it gets down to 6 cents, I think at that point it's a great time to buy again. I do believe in a reversal in Caspa this bull market, but the fact that it came off of that 5-6 cents, got up to that 12 cents, and it lost it. I just don't know how far down it's going to go for what period of time, though.
Don't be scared, man. It's gonna be okay.
I mean, what's your thoughts on Caspa?
I like Caspa.
I know you like Caspa. I like Caspa too. I'm not throwing shade at Caspa.
Don't sound like you like Caspa. Sounds like you hate Caspa.
No, I believe Caspa's going to perform very well the back half of this year. I just don't know when that's coming.
You just.
But then again, I've said it.
I've said the back half of the year. What else?
Yeah, but I don't know if it's going to start now.
Who cares?
But then this is the 1 year chart, man. It's just
Exactly. That's when you buy, dummy. You don't buy when it's up.
no. Well, I mean,
Have some damn conviction, guy.
it's just.
I got you, Caspa fan. We buying Caspa, baby.
I mean, if anybody bought has anybody bought in the last 9 months, you're down, man.
Bro, we holding Caspa for long term, dog.
And then even on the all-time chart, I mean, it was November of 2023, it broke over 10 cents. And ever since then, I mean, we're getting closer to 2 years not making any money.
Gotta remember, Caspa is not ran by a foundation. So they don't pay for listings. They don't pay for marketing. Everything is community ran. It takes longer. Okay?
That's my whole point. Is
Give
like
it some time. Back half of this year.
But
It's okay, Robin. I'll buy Caspa. You don't have to.
okay.
You sound very scared. It's going to be okay, man. It'll be very okay. Also, before I forget, I'll be running the trading show over at Sistine Trading today. All you got to do is stay in this chat, and then when we're done, you'll automatically be redirected. We're going to take a look at some charts. I'll break down my Bitcoin trade I put in today. So make sure you stay and join me later. Also, big thank you to today's channel sponsor. Today's show is brought to you by CAMS, Blue Wire Technology. If you want to learn how camps can help your business scale and grow and maximize your networking, IT, and cybersecurity, visit bluewiretech.com. There is a link in the description of this video. Speaking of links in the video, we're going to jump into a couple of altcoins. Please, as I talk about virtuals, do me a favor. Use our code, our referrer code. When you go into the Virtuals app through your mobile wallet, there's a place where you can add your referrer. The link is in the description and the actual code. Do us a favor, support us. We're trying to show the Virtuals team that the SINCITY community is behind Virtuals protocol. You guys know I talk about this all the time. It's at $1.97. It's just every time this thing gets down to that $1.80 range, $1.82, $1.85, it feels like it just almost immediately bounces back. And that is because there is constant buying pressure because people are looking to get into their launches. Take a look at some of these numbers. Daily active wallets starting to see growth, not just spikes, but actual linear growth. We also have daily DEX volume is starting to grow as well. And then daily DEX volume. Oh, daily DEX volume by agents. Take a look at this one. So if you guys look at the absolute peak was the beginning of January, okay? And then we started to slow down. It was pretty dead from February through April, so about 2 months, 2.5 months. But on the way to this massive spike, we saw little spurts, right? A little spurt here, a little spurt here, and then all-time high. We're starting to see a little spurt here, a little spurt here. We're not even at previous highs, and people are crushing it with these agents, and I believe this thing still has a little bit of ways to go. I don't think the top is in yet. You look at daily trading revenue. This is, again, from Dune.com. That is spiking as well. Now that it's integrated with Solana and Ethereum, and of course, Base, Virtuals protocol, man. It's very bullish. Any thoughts on this before I move on to the next one?
No. You buying Virtuals? The actual token?
Actually did.
Did you?
About a little more in the company account.
Yeah. No, the price is
About at $1.85.
pretty volatile. So I know it got up
For now, very simple. When it gets to that $1.82 to $1.85, just buy some. And then it goes up to $2.
yeah.
Scalp.
Yeah, it was just a week ago or 5 days ago. It was at 220, so down 10% from its high earlier this week. And look at the 1 month here. And we saw Caspa hit $2.50. Virtuals. Yeah, it hit 250. And so that was 2 weeks ago. And we saw it at 228 recently. So I am very bullish on Virtuals right now. You look at the 1 year chart, vastly different than some of these other alts. We saw it get this explosive run up, price discovery, $4.50, pull back, flush out the market. Now we're back off again. I think we eclipse this $4 mark here. I don't think it's by a lot. I think I said this before, maybe a couple weeks ago. Still think that $5 to $7 is probably where I expect Virtuals to get to before it pulls back again. So, yeah.
All right. The other one I want to talk about is Sonic. Sonic. So, remember, this thing got up to 90 cents. Okay? 90 cents. This is back, when was this? This is back in February. Sonic had a massive run. This is what it does. It lulls you to sleep, then it has a massive run. Take a look at its TVL. Look at the TVL growth here. And of course, this is starting at 0 because the rebranded from Phantom, but it's just been on a steady climb. Now, we have seen a little bit of a decline here, but it got to a high of 1.1 billion on May 10th. 1.14 on May 11th, excuse me. Seeing a little bit of a retracement, but this thing is still up. You take a look at this from the Sonic Foundation or the Sonic ecosystem. Plus 330% address growth in 2025. The number of unique addresses on Sonic has increased from 638,000 to over 2.83 million just this year alone. More users are exploring the DeFi opportunities the network has to offer. And then take a look at this. Very unique here. If you build on Sonic, you can earn 90% of the gas fees that are paid when people interact with your contract. Take a look at how easy this is for anyone to set up and what it means.
Game builders, I'm going to show you how to take 90% of the gas fees that your applications generate and put them right back into your pocket in 3 steps and under 60 seconds. You go to fm.soniclabs.com, click apply for FM after connecting your wallet, fill this form out with your project details. You give a 50S deposit, which is about $25. You get it back once you're confirmed. You register your project right here. So now once you've registered your project details, you're going to want to hit continue on auto verify right here. Copy this code snippet, move into your contract. So I'm just going to deploy a regular ERC20 called give me FM revenue. I'm going to paste this snippet in, and it's called the self-register snippet. This allows your contract to be registered for FM. It's compiled, and I'm going to deploy it now. Confirm. Now it's deployed. All we have to do now is open this contract, click register me, confirm. Now the contract is registering. That's this snippet right here. And then what you're going to see here is if you go to my FM, you have no registered projects. But if you refresh now, you see the contract we just registered. This is the contract we just deployed a minute ago. Now, whenever people interact with this contract, 90% of the gas that's used is going to come back right into your pocket. And you'll see all your gas earnings here, and you just click claim whenever you want to claim them.
So, making it easy for builders to come on. Also, making it beneficial financially for the builders to come on as well. A little bit of bullish div. We missed one here, but looking at the lows. Right? You have lower low, lower low, lower low, lower low. And on this one, right, your low, this is about the same. And then this is actually a higher low on the RSI. So bullish div on the daily. Chart looks pretty flat. Obviously, it's been just trending down. But it's at essentially all-time lows when you talk about just Sonic, not Phantom, Sonic. 35 cents. This thing, again, was trading at 62 cents just a month ago. Talk about a 2x here. Just a month ago. Rob, Sonic, DeFi Summer. DeFi hasn't really ran yet. What are your thoughts?
I think Sonic is going to do well this year. But my thing is what happens if Ethereum becomes more scalable, as you know, they've said that, hey, they're trying to 10x the speed and throughput of Ethereum, which we would assume is also going to drop the price of gas fees. And so if Sonic's kind of business model is to, put the gas fees back in your pocket, if gas fees end up being a thing of the past, maybe we look back and be like, remember when we used to pay hundreds of dollars for gas fees? And now they're only pennies. I mean, I don't know if Ethereum ever gets there, but if it does, then the scaling solutions and these other projects that are kind of siphoning off users and transactions from Ethereum because of its throughput issues, because of its speed issues, because of its high transaction costs, those are in trouble. And so could Sonic be a good long-term play outside of, say, the next 6 months? I don't know, dude. Is it a good time to buy? I think so. I don't know, man. I'm not big in the ETH ecosystem, so I'll just kind of leave it at that. I'm not a buyer myself, but what about you? You seem pretty bullish. You seem pretty bullish on Sonic.
I'm a buyer. I like Sonic. I like Andre. I like the team. I like what they're doing. And when it comes to DeFi, that's what they're known for, man. So I'm a buyer of Sonic. I think 35 cents is a steal. Remember, talking about a 3x just like a month and a half, 2 months ago. That being said, that'll do it for the show today. Remember, I'll be going live in like 5 minutes on Sistine Trading. If you just stay in the chat right now, you'll be automatically redirected to the Sistine Trading Show. Come join me. I want to try to break 200. I want to break 200 live viewers on that channel. If I do, I'm gonna give away $50 to one person. Go in there, say hola, 200 viewers, 100 likes. I'll give away $50 to one winner. And that's all I got. With that being said, Gina. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We appreciate every single one of you. It's going to be an interesting week. Stay tuned. Come back tomorrow. Same place, same time. Until then.
Sin City, crypto. Everybody know we here for. entertainment and info. Gonna show you how to get that big dough. So every day stay tapped in for big facts, no capping. With Bitcoin, if you're in, then you win. We divide the pie with no fraction. It's Big Rob, David. I split the game, but they gave it. Named according to your favorite. I got dry powder, why save it? To the OGs, new beginners. Special shout out to the well members. Buy the dip, sell winners. Ain't really nothing you can tell sinners. Tune in for the latest new flavors. They gonna teach us mean coins. They polarizing like barbecue chicken pizzas. I laugh with a major grin. Laggers, we trade them in. Baddies, they came to sin.